Hi guys, it's Alex from Abarth Club West Midlands, and I'm here today at Motor Guard in Birmingham, and we're here just to do an educational video on some security for the cars. As you know, there's been a massive rise in thefts of Abarths at the moment, and they're a huge target. So we thought we would do a useful little video for you just to educate you and see how easy it is to sort of get the Abarth stolen and what you can do just to make your cars more secure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you over to Raf, and he's going to go through some security measures with you, and hopefully you'll find this interesting and useful.
Right, thank you, Alex. Hi guys, I'm Raf from Motor Guard here in Birmingham, and we've been offering vehicle security for the last 21 years now, so quite experienced in this field. We also own an Abarth 595 ourselves, quite involved with the group, and the Abarth's sort of a bit of a passion of ours. We actually bought our Abarth just for R&D purposes because there was quite a few getting stolen, and I wanted to get one in ourselves just to see if we could, sort of do some unique twists on the security just to make your cars more secure, and we feel we've achieved that. Now, there's been a huge increase in thefts of Abarths, and they're a very easy car to steal. I know a lot of owners who are watching this have probably been through this, and I've actually spoken to a few of you as well where people have tried to steal your cars. They're a very easy car to steal, so thieves are getting in, driving off with the car in a matter of a minute. Alex and Mark actually had an attempted theft on their Abarth, and we'll try and overlay that video. Hopefully you can see what happened. And they had taken some simple measures, and after 9 or 10 minutes, I think it was, of them trying to take the car, they basically gave up and went away. So when you buy an Abarth, the big problem, and I find what a lot of people don't know, is that the car has actually got no form of alarm on it from the factory. So just the fact that it's got a remote control on it, owners tend to think the car's got an alarm on it, but this is not true. So when you press that button, you're simply locking the doors on your car. There is an immobilizer on it. It's what we call a transponder chip. So when your key comes near the barrel of your car, it recognizes the key and it allows the car to start. The problem you've got is what the thieves are doing is they're plugging into your OBD port where the dealer plugs in, and they're literally programming a new transponder chip or a new key, and basically they've now got a spare key and they can start your car up with this transponder chip or key. So I think if you just take some simple measures, you can keep your car safe. Now, we were having a chat and about 10 cars were stolen in a matter of about 5 days, all locally. And I feel if all of these cars had taken even one of the simple steps we're going to talk about, I'm pretty confident the car wouldn't have been stolen. Now, with security, we were having a chat with Alex and Mark earlier on. There is two types of security systems. So you've got your electronic security system, so something which we can fit, alarm, immobilizer, they're all electronic security systems. And then you've got your mechanical or your physical security systems like steering locks, which you can fit on your car just to make them more safe. And everything's got, pros and cons. So that's what this video is about, just to talk about pros and cons of different systems. So I think, Alex, you guys use a steering lock on your car,
yes,
don't you?
Definitely,
so
yeah. They've
got a steering lock. Now, with steering locks, there is different types of steering locks, and a lot of customers who come in, I generally chat to them about what they've got. Now, in my opinion, if you're going to buy a steering lock for your car, I would always recommend you go for a full lock, something like what they call a disc lock, the one that goes around the whole steering wheel. They work really well. They're not too expensive. I think just over £100, which is, weekend out for most people. If you spent £10,000, £15,000, £20,000 on a car, spending £100 on a steering lock, which is going to be yours forever, is definitely worth it. And the disc lock, in my opinion, is the best lock money can buy. You've also got these other locks where they sort of lock your handbrake up in the gear in one of the in first gear or third gear or whatever. Again, I've seen owners who've had these on. If they're not fitted right, and even if they're fitted right, they're not too hard to get round. Thieves are just forcing the gear sticks forward and just physically, pulling them off. So again, I'm not a big fan of these. What we do down here at Motor Guard is obviously we do electronic security. So my advice to all owners is when you buy a car, we're not saying go and spend £1,500, £2,000 on a system, even though we offer systems in that price range. But just a simple immobilizer, I feel, is enough to stop your car from getting stolen. Yeah. So if you just have a normal immobilizer fitted on your car, £250. You also get a discount, obviously, if you're a member, so you'll get a discount off that. Something like that, I feel, will prevent your car from being stolen because there's no way they're going to start it. It's electronically immobilized. We've got some unique cuts we've now found on the Abarths where we feel it's different to what anybody else is doing, and it's virtually undetectable. You're not finding it, and the car's not going to start. So I think immobilizers is a good starting point, Alex.
Well, that's what's helped my car
so yeah,
not being stolen
an electronic system, and the car didn't go. So it's, the proof's in the pudding, it works. Going up from there, you can then go up and I always talk about layers of security. So an immobiliser is a layer of security. If you have a steering lock, you've got another layer of security. And going up from that, the third layer really is adding an alarm to the car, because the car hasn't got an alarm. So an immobiliser is great and it'll stop your car from being stolen. But if somebody breaks in, smashes your window, there's no noise. They can sit inside your car, steal your belongings. They can't start your car, but there's no noise to attract any attention. So going up from there, an alarm immobiliser is your next option. Any alarm immobiliser package which is fitted to your car is going to make your car more secure. Now, I would say most popular amongst Abarth owners is a mid-level alarm immobiliser system. That's what we tend to be really busy with. And going up from there, all the more expensive systems, in terms of security alone, I would say they're protecting your car just as well as our entry-level alarm immobiliser. The only difference is you're getting convenience features. So you can have a smart system where if your alarm goes off, it notifies you. You can then have a tracker where you can keep an eye on where the car is. You can run remote start, so you can start your car from your house or from anywhere in the world from your mobile phone. So all of these are what we call convenience features, and they're not really making your car more secure. So going up from a normal alarm immobiliser, I think you're just paying for convenience features which you might want. So yeah, guys, I think it's very important you add some sort of security to your car. Systems are very affordable now. I mean, you've even got 0% finance available on most systems, where you just pay 4 payments of whatever it is and no interest, and you've got a system. So there's not really any excuse. The thing that I get told a lot from Abarth owners is a lot of them, I find, tend to complain about Abarth. Do you find this as well? Because they're all complaining that Abarth should do more.
They are complaining because they're buying the car assuming that it's got an alarm fitted or some sort of security on there. And a lot of people buy them without even realising.
Yep.
A lot of people have said they are complaining and they are trying to change things where Abarth will end up putting some sort of alarm on the car so it comes like that from factory. But where they've got to with that, I'm not too sure. But there are a lot of people out there who are angry about it because they're spending so much money on a car and they've got nothing to go with it.
We see the same down here. A lot of Abarth owners come down and they complain. Now, the issue you've got is, today we've got a lot of new-ish cars here. So there's a couple of new Audis, a BMW. Now, all of these cars actually have got a factory-fitted Category 1 alarm system and an immobiliser. The problem is they're mass-produced systems. So all of these cars can still be stolen within 30 seconds. And some of these cars are, there's a £120,000 Audi e-tron over there. But again, it can be stolen in 30 seconds. So that owner is taking measures to protect it. And I think the problem is, anytime you have a system fitted on your car, if the dealers have always got the option of programming a spare key. Now, as long as a dealer has a tool to program a spare key in, a thief can get hold of that tool, crack it, and potentially do the same. We are busier now than we've ever been in our 21 years of trading. I remember 2010, people telling me, God, I was actually worried because cars were coming with alarms, and I thought, well, what else am I going to do? But we're actually busier now than we were 10 years ago because of, you can go and buy yourself a £200,000 Range Rover and a thief can potentially come and steal your car in 30 seconds. So it's not just a Abarth, it's every car. And thieves are getting clever, aren't they? They're getting more tech savvy, so they're buying the technology to get around it. So guys, buy some form of security for your car. Keep your car safe. It's not going anywhere. Even if you just want some advice, contact Alex or Mark, who will bring into the video in a second. Myself, we're more than willing to help you. We're more than willing to give you advice. If you can't afford an electronic immobiliser, at least buy a steering lock, because some form of security is better than no form of security.
Of course,
I feel.
Yeah,
so
visible security is
buy
better.
something. All them cars that were stolen, none of them had any form of security on them. So there you go. My Abarth, we've got a 2020 Competizione, and I take that everywhere. We go to the shows, we use it as a daily. It's parked up absolutely everywhere, and no one's ever touched it because it is pretty safe. So definitely buy something. I think we'll bring Mark into the video. He can talk a little bit about his experience as well. Right, guys, we've now got Mark here from Abarth Club West Midlands, and he's going to say a little bit about what happened when they tried to steal his car.
Yeah, well, it happened probably about 2-3 years ago. Lived in Birmingham at the time. We have CCTV all around the house, and literally I got woken up about 4 o'clock in the morning when Alex was about to go to work with her window was smashed on her car itself. Thinking obviously previously towards that, working for Abarth all themselves, yet again we know what the security is like on the vehicle. Actually had fitted a immobiliser. Was expensive, about 230 quid.
Yep.
Wasn't a huge amount of cash. The video that I've got, obviously, it's about a 10-minute long video all itself, of them obviously trying to get into the car in the first place, and then they probably try to start the car probably a dozen times. So for that small amount of cash.
Your car didn't go
Literally,
anywhere.
my car did not go anywhere. Obviously, it's really upsetting, but to know your car's still safe.
Yeah,
For
still
the
there.
money I could have spent going out for the weekend or buying a new pair of trainers or getting the car mapped, all those sorts of things, that's probably the best amount of money I've ever spent on that car. It's a horrible feeling.
I bet it
Horrible,
is.
disgusting.
Yeah,
Someone
we
sat
hear
in your
this all the
car.
time.
Yeah, but to know that it's safe, to know that what I've spent has worked, it's just really, really good.
And how long have you had your car for now? So
I've had the car now coming up 5 years in May.
there you go. If you divide that by 5 years,
It's
pennies,
nothing.
isn't it?
It's probably 2 months worth of fuel. That's all it is. Obviously, V-Power is quite expensive anyway.
Yeah.
But it's such a small cost just to know that your car is going to be safe, or as safe as it can be for that amount of money. Obviously now we do have the visual, so
Yeah.
we've now got a full your disc lock, just to get a bit of extra. And that was only £120.
And it's yours.
And it's mine. And if we sell the Abarth, it's never going to happen, obviously. I can put that onto a different car.
Yeah,
But I use that even if I go to Sainsbury's, even if I get fuel. Wherever I go and I'm away from that car, that goes on every single time. And people say it's a pain, it's a nightmare, it's heavy, but it's just
Peace
worth
of mind,
it.
isn't
It's
it?
peace of mind, and I know that if I go to Sainsbury's and I'm doing all my shopping, that I've got the immobiliser and I've got the steering lock. It's just that extra all peace of mind. I mean, I've moved out of the area now, but yeah, again, I still use absolutely everything. I've
There you
got
go,
to
guys.
use it. Hi, back to Mark again. I just thought I'd obviously also introduce to you John, who's one of our admins, who actually owns a 124 Spider, so slightly different. We know the 595s aren't keyless entry. It's good to introduce John and how he uses security.
Okay, so yeah, I've got the 124 Spider. It's keyless entry. What I found last year was we had an attempted break-in into the car where a guy was going around testing all the locks to see if he could actually get into the car. And what I've actually found is if I put the key next to the front door, you can still open the car. So what I've invested in is the Faraday cage pouch. So you pop the key into the pouch, then put it next to the car and see if you can actually open the car. This proves, you know, you cannot take the car.
Cool. So I've just got a lot larger one here, not with an Abarth key, unfortunately, with a nice Audi key. Just to obviously show you how these work. Now, when you normally buy these, you don't normally get instructions on where to put your key. There's actually two pouches. So you've got the front one there, you've also got one at the rear. That key needs to go in the rear. That protects the key in there. Stops it through. Never use the front pouch to pop your key into because it will not work, guys. You've not got the protection there whatsoever. What we also suggest as well is every couple of months, just go next to your car with the key inside to see if it opens, because opening and closing it will actually sometimes get that part to actually not work anymore. They can actually fail, all the metal inside. So just try all few months. If it stops, obviously if that opens the car, go buy yourself another one. They're not overly expensive. We see them on the internet, certain auction sites. I'm sure RAF actually sells them all as well. Just for a couple of pounds, guys, this is going to protect it. We've all seen it on YouTube with very expensive cars, and they're just literally taking your car with that Faraday couch.
Should also point out spare keys as well. So a lot of you take your keys to work. If you've got spare keys in the house, again, they can still scan the house for your keys.